Hi everyone, Alan from Newlands Nursery. Hope you are well. Welcome to today's 5-Minute Friday. And what we're going to do today is pot up some Aquilegia into this container. So I've filled this container with compost. And if we have a look at the compost, it's a nice, well-draining compost. There's some bark in there, something to add a bit of drainage, a bit of aeration to the compost as well. And when I've filled it up, I've left it shy of the top. So not all the way to the top. That just helps with watering. Specifically, if we get really, really hot days and things like that, it almost acts as a reservoir where you can water on top, and the pot contains some water which takes a bit of time to soak into the compost. So I've got the compost filled, the pot filled with compost, sorry. I've got my 3 Aquilegia plants, and it's worth mentioning these. So some people will look at these and think they're a tiny, tiny plant. Well, that's relatively small, but that's just because it's just starting to break through the ground, just starting to sprout this time of year. What we're really worried about with plants like this, and what we really want, is a good, healthy rootstock, because that's what's going to benefit you come the spring. In fact, you can have a really lush green plant that looks absolutely fantastic, but if you haven't got the root, you're going to end up really regretting that purchase. So if I look at this plant, for example, so I squeeze the pot to release it from the pot there. That's what we're looking for. A really nice, healthy root system. So this plant was potted up last year. So we've let it go through the winter, so it's naturalised. It's had that cold winter, and that's really, really good for the plant. So we want that nice root system. So start potting up. I've already taken this one out, which makes it nice and easy, which is good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plant these in a triangle. So planting in threes is a good thing. If I show you, I'm going to plant just like that. Okay. So hopefully you can see what I'll do is I'll place the pots on. So I'm going to plant a bit like that. Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm going to plant like that, and then as it grows, they just tend to look more natural in a triangle. So these are Aquilegia early birds. So they flower nice and early, and you get a nice long flowering period of time with these. So I've taken the plant out of the pot. I make a hole in the compost that is actually bigger than the root ball, because we don't want to squash it down. And we want the plant to sit at the same level that it was in the pot. So we want it to sit just like that. So it looks like basically it's been there forever. Okay, and then we just work our way around, adding the other plants in. These will start flowering around about April. A lot will depend on the weather, but they, like you can see, they're just raring to go. And these particular plants, they've been kept very, very cold, so they're not too warm. So these could go outside now, depending what part of the country you're in. If you've got a bit of sheltered space that hasn't got a lot of heat, that'll be absolutely fine as well. We don't want to make them too warm. So whilst they might look lush and green and look like they're growing really well, these plants want a cold period. So it's as simple as that. That's all the planting done. Nice and easy. They can be left like that. All we need to do is water them. So I'll get a hose. So when you're watering from a hose, sometimes, or even a watering can, depending on it, sometimes you can just get too much water on it. You can see a lot of water rushing out. So what we do is just go over the top like this, and potentially if it starts puddling up, especially with fresh compost, just wait for that to settle, wait for that to sink in, because we want to get the water all the way in, and then you go again. There is a specific term for it, I can never remember what it is, to do with the way that fresh compost will puddle up. You can just see it doing there. You can just see it puddling up there. So we wait till that settles, sinks in, and then we go again. There's probably other people using the hoses on the nursery, so it's not coming out as quick as I'd like. So we just do that and let it settle down. Simple as that. Okay. When you're happy that you've got enough moisture in there, and sometimes you can tell that that's nice and heavy now. Sometimes you can tell it from the weight of a pot, then you're done. Simple as that. Any questions at all, get in contact. We're here to help. See you soon.